Okay. Question 1 was, do you exercise? And we had no, CrossFit, weight training, and then walk, run, treadmill, whatever have you, some type of cardio. The main one was walk and run, which is kind of surprising to me. I feel like weight training is actually where I thought I would be at.
It's funny. Well, I mean, I guess it's just maybe because you could just run outside, you know?
Yeah.
Go outside, and then you have to actually have weights to weight train.
Okay, moving on to the second one, it was, how often do you exercise? Some people said scheduled routine and then occasionally 1 to 2 times, which is actually more than like realistic to me, because I do have a scheduled routine, but it's occasionally 1 or 2 times a week or 3 times a week, which is kind of funny to me because it's like I would think that people would actually like go every day, which is unrealistic because there's just so much stuff to do every day.
I find it weird that more people have, more people go occasionally 1 to 2 times a month rather than a couple times a month, like 10.
Yeah.
I don't know. I guess there's not many people that don't want to have it like that, you know, don't want to go.
Well, the ones that did take this survey are teachers, professors at ASU, and students from ASU. Obviously, my peers, and I posted it on my social media platforms, and mainly of those are of my age who are either working full-time, part-time, or full-time student as well. So that is kind of realistic because some people do have a scheduled routine for their job, for the gym, for their parents, and what have not. And then occasionally 1 to 2 times a month. It's kind of hard to keep a routine, especially if you have a full-time job, if you have kids, if you have, you know, a full-time student. Like, I haven't gone to the gym in like a minute, but that's because of this whole thing. But that we didn't expect for it to be at-home workouts. We should have added that, but who would have had thought that this was going to happen?
Yeah.
So I'm going to say never is probably at-home workouts. Okay. Question 3, do you train to failure? And if not, do you know when to stop working out?
Yeah, I guess it's sort of in my realm. It seems that there's more people that say that they train to failure, but again, this could be the idea that many people don't actually know if they're training to failure, because there's been multiple studies taken where they have people training to failure without someone giving them moral support, and then they have someone train to failure with moral support. And so typically whenever they have the moral support, they're able to push themselves further. So they're not really pushing themselves to failure. But, you know, you can't really tell if it's just a question like that, you know, but it's good to see that more people are trying to optimize by training to failure, you know.
I like how there was a question or an answer that said no, but I know how to avoid injury. I feel like that is the same thing as yes, I train to failure and know when to stop. Because if you feel like you're about to hurt yourself, obviously that's training to failure. That's until you cannot do it no more. So these two kind of tie in together. But yeah, I agree with Cameron with how some people actually don't know. I didn't know I was training to failure until I was like, oh, that's what I'm doing.
Yeah, it was just like most people in the gym just don't want to put the effort in, you know?
Yeah.
Everyone wants results, just like that. But,
if you're feeling the pain, keep pushing through it until you can't. That's pretty much what it is.
Yeah.
I got this one. All right.
Can you control where you lose fat? I can't.
Nope.
I wish I can. I wish there was a way that you could like just put fat somewhere else.
Right? Without surgery.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. I mean, it's just overall body fat percentage, you know, it's just going to decrease. You have to decrease it overall. Typically, women have more body fat on average than men, just because there's been ideas about how women need the extra body fat as an extra reserve sort of fuel source, because if they don't eat, it mainly have to do with babies. Just babies is the answer.
Have babies.
Most of the time, most of the time, a lot of women, or typically women store fat around their legs and their waist, while men will typically store it in their gut. But it's kind of shocking to think that people can actually control where they lose fat. It's completely false. When you lose fat, it's as a whole overall.
I mean, there are certain exercises that control where you can like gain muscle mass as well as losing it, like ab workouts or arm workouts. If you more frequently do arms, obviously the fat in your arms are going to go away than the ones that are in your lower legs or your lower body.
Or at least it's
But
going to
control, like to do a full body workout and control, like, oh, I'm not going to lose fat in my butt or in my thighs, but I'm going to lose it in my arms. It's unrealistic as well. Like, that's just crazy.
Yeah.
That's why a lot of females, I'm gonna hit on with females who have had babies, who had gone through pregnancy, they gain so much weight throughout it that when they start going back to the gym, it's kind of difficult to like maintain where they're gonna lose it because it's just everywhere, right? Like it's not fat per se, but it's mainly like weight from baby, the water weight that you gain from the baby, from fat in your thighs, your hips expand, your whole body just transforms, and it's kind of difficult to do it. I have a fast metabolism, so if I get pregnant and I have a baby, then my metabolism is going to start slowing down, which is going to be harder for me to maintain my weight more than trying to gain more weight than I am right now, if that makes sense. Yeah, so moving on to question 5. Do you use your gym membership access to a campus gym? If not, what has stopped you from going in the past?
Well,
Examples, busy, tired, not COVID-19.
Okay, so this was my question, and I wrote down like the answers like in like a little graph to make it easier for me to understand. And the number one answer, as you might be able to see, oh maybe not, is busy, like for not being able to go. And 15 out of the 40 people said they did work out. And then the number 2 answer was because of money. And number 3 was lazy, tired, and unmotivated. And number 4 was stress. I just wanted to point out with like the first one with like the whole, or the question, which one was it? 2? How often do you exercise? Yeah, I don't find it unbelievable for like, for people to like not exercise like only once a month, or like twice a month and hardly ever have a routine. Because how many? 25 out of the 40 people said that they don't exercise. And what I thought was interesting was that 4 of the 40 said no because of the coronavirus, even though I specifically said not to. So I can imagine how many more people actually aren't exercising because of the coronavirus,
Yeah, that makes sense.
It's,
With this one, for me, I said that I do use my gym membership and I don't use a campus gym only because I do have a gym right down the street for me, and I already commute as is to and from work and home, or not work from home, but school and home. And with that commute itself, I live all the way in Surprise, and going downtown Phoenix is always like an hour of traffic. So if I were to go before school, I'd catch traffic. If I go after school, I'm going to catch traffic coming back. And who wants to stay in traffic all day? So if I could beat the traffic, I go all the way home to go to the gym. Or I just do a home workout in the morning. But
Hey, Diamond. Can you go up to question 4?
Yeah.
I kind of forgot something. So just a little interjection. Obviously you can see that like a third of the people said you can control where you lose fat. This is one of my sources, where one of the main myths is you can control, there's targeted fat loss. And it sometimes, like if you work out your arms or your abs, like if you gain a little muscle there, it may look like it's more toned or something, but you do lose fat overall, like your overall fat goes down. So that's some of the things that contribute. Like if you curl like one arm over the other, that's how they did this study. One arm wasn't like had less fat than the other. It just had a little bit more muscle. So yeah, just that.
No, one of the answers was because of stress and tiredness. to interject on stress is actually really good to go to the gym. Like if you train your mind to be like, okay, I have stress, but it's good stress because it's going to motivate me to, go to the gym. I find stress as a good stress reliever. When I have it, I go to this gym and I like bust out, some arm workouts, some leg workouts in order to pump up that adrenaline. That's really what stress is. Stress is just like an internal adrenaline clock in a sense.
Mm-hmm.
If you think about it, you're going to think of it as a negative aspect. It's like, oh my God, I have stress. I don't want to do nothing but go to sleep because I'm so tired. I have all this stuff to do. But it actually alleviates that. If you were to go to the gym because of stress, it alleviates it from your body in order to motivate yourself, in order to go to work, to go to school, to go to the gym, whatever have you. So it's actually a good thing to have stress.
Yeah. Cameron and I were talking earlier before this, and we were talking about, and it's crazy that like the number 4 answer was stress, and because stress is actually alleviated when you exercise and endorphins is released, and all that stress goes somewhere. It's like put out of your body, and it actually like in turn alleviate some of that stress. So yeah, I thought that was really interesting. Mm-hmm.
Question 6, what motivates you to exercise? Naya, was this also yours?
Yeah. And I also wrote down a little chart to make more sense. And somebody skipped this question, so only 39 people answered it. But the number 1 answer, which makes me pretty happy, is that it's for their health. And that makes sense. It should be the number 1 answer. At the end of the day, like that is the only thing that actually really matters, like lengthen your life and have a healthy one at that. And number 2 was to look good, or body image, which makes sense in like the society today, all the social media. And you were talking about this, Diamond, about like how social media can be a really good motivator, but also can have that negative effect of like not being able to achieve that kind of body.
Yeah,
and
you have to keep sorry to interrupt. You just got to keep your realistic expectations in check when you do go on social media, only because it's not just all negative. I know I talked about all the negative parts of social media, but it does have positive, like, you can find good resources. You can find, the guy that Cameron talked about, I can't pronounce his name. Obviously, they're good sources out there. You just got to make sure that you're not really getting scammed, and they're not tricks that just like they're all about themselves. Like most of the females influencers I know all about themselves. Most of their posts are nothing but body image and like what they eat on a day-to-day basis. I can't just eat toast and bread all day. Like that's not, or just rice grains, like 3 rice grains. Like that's not realistic. That's not like the keto diets. Don't do that. Like you have to know what's good for your body, what's not, what source is good to actually like read into, and make sure that you're doing right. Just because you do want to get that nice physique and body image, like everybody wants, that nice body type, but you have to make sure that it's realistic for your body type,
Yeah. And I thought of some great answers. I don't know if you guys can see them, but like a good answer that I saw was revenge body.
Yeah.
And then another answer was breakups. I was like, yes, breakups get me through, And then another answer that I thought was funny was my revenge body was hot girl summer, which is so funny. I just think it's so great, especially since COVID-19. I hope summer is like still a thing, But yeah, I thought a really interesting answer was goals. A lot of people said their goals, and some of them were like running a mile without being tired or without stopping. And there was a bunch of goals like that, which I thought was really cool. So
goals are another big motivator as well. Just because if you do sit down, if you take out the time to sit down and have like a little workout journal, I know that works best for me. You get out a little workout journal and you write down what you're going to do for Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, whatever. Even if it's just a rest day, write it down. If you have a specific goal and you continue with that myth that says, oh, if you go to the gym 21 days in a row, like it's a myth. But that myth is also a motivator. It's like, all right, even though the realistic time is 66 days, if I do 21 and we keep to 21, that means I could do to 66 days.
Yeah.
That I can even, but that doesn't mean stay at the gym all day, every day, because that's not healthy also.
Yeah.
But things like that motivate you. Like if you like, all right, I'm gonna go to the gym every day this week. This week I'm gonna have 2 days off. The next day after that I'm just gonna go 3 days, but then I go back to 1 week. That's a great motivator as well. Like you just gotta find what works for you. Okay.
Also, what is it? So exercising, you have to do something that you gotta enjoy. I mean, if you don't enjoy it, you're not gonna stick to it long term, and you're losing a lot of like outside influences as your motivation to exercise. You're probably not going to stick to it long term. That's going to apply to diet as well. Make sure at least it's something that you enjoy, so that you'll stick to it and you'll continue to be motivated.
Yeah. Like if you don't enjoy going to the gyms, and some of the reasons that some people didn't enjoy going to the gyms was like because it was too crowded. And honestly, like that makes sense. The gyms can hold or have like memberships up to like 6,500, but can only hold 300 people. And like that's like what they're made to like not have people go all the time. And so like it makes sense that like people wouldn't want to go to the gym, and and
as soon as I see the gym crowded, I don't even take my pre-workout. I walk out and I stay in the car and I'm like this all mad. I'm still pumped. And I wait until like a few people come in. I'm like, okay, some machines are out. I could use some machines now. But yeah, it's just I say excuses are excuses. If you make it an excuse not to go, you're not going to go. You have to find the motivation, and you have to find what works for you. You have to find what makes you happy in order to work out. I like booty workouts. I like leg workouts. That's what I do 3 times out of the week, more than arms and back and chest, just because that's where I want to build more muscle. That's where I'm more focused on. But that doesn't mean do it every day as well, You can do it more often than some other arm workout or back workout as well. But I think we are good with motivation. Let's move on to question 7. Have you ever used health exercise information you saw on social media? And I found this as like a really like not shocking at all. Most of the answers was yes, I had a positive experience continuing using it. That's possibly because they have found a good resource. Not these other ones with bad posture, bad form, unhealthy diets. And then some other ones said no, which is with really shocking. So I guess they just found whatever works for them, or they found a personal trainer that actually works, or a diet that actually works that's healthy. And then the lowest is yes, and I have a negative experience or stopped. Exactly, because they found something that didn't work for them, that's not healthy for them, that is just all in all just a money grabber, money maker for the person or the influencer that is putting out this misinformation.
Yeah, I thought it was crazy that like the number 2 answer, and by a close second, was no.
Yeah.
Like, there's just like so much information out there, and like I mean I feel like everybody has had the desire to go to the gym or exercise or look good, that like just scrolling through Instagram, I don't even like look for it that much, and I still get ads for like
Be shred.
Yeah. So that's pretty crazy.
Yeah. But this question was basically like social media, not as a whole, like website. This is like literally like social media influencers, like the Instagram models, the Facebook ads, the Twitter accounts, whatever have you, about things that don't give out proper information about exercise and health and fitness and all that. So that's kind of crazy how that was really close second. Question 8, do fitness models, brands, or other social media celebrities affect your motivations on or how you view yourself? And I'm glad that this answer is no, because you should never, ever compare yourself to somebody else's body. Like, regardless of what your weight is, you shouldn't. Because I've done that for like years before I figured out that I need to stop thinking about other people's physique, and my physique is what matters. Because obviously females want the bigger butt, the nice toned arms, the really cinch waist, but that's unrealistic, and you're going to hurt yourself in the process of trying to achieve that. So kudos to everybody that said no, because you shouldn't compare yourself. Just do what makes you happy and make your body image to what you want it to be. Like, go get your abs, but don't try to get the abs that you see on Pinterest, on Instagram, because they use Photoshop.
Yeah.
They either done surgery, or they are doing, steroids that are bad, or, Photoshop. So don't compare yourself.
It makes sense though that people would say yes.
Yeah, because that's where a lot of people get their motivation first, is like, how am I going to get this body type? Let me look on, which it makes sense that they did say yes, but only 46 out of the 53.
Mm-hmm.
And I think that's just like to gain motivation more than just to compare themselves. Like, I'm not saying yes, the people that pick yes is because they're comparing themselves, is because they actually want to achieve something. In order to achieve it, you need to find a picture or an image that goes with the goal.
Yeah.
Like, if you want a bigger butt, print out a peach emoji.
Yeah.
But yeah. What would be a reliable source? And then select all that applied. We had someone who looks very fit and muscular, the Journal of Sports Medicine, a YouTuber with a bachelor's in exercise, an uncertified personal trainer, and a coworker who swears by juicing celery. So
I thought it was funny that someone who looks very fit and muscular was one of them, because, a very good aspect of their muscularness and their fitness is their genetics,
Yeah.
That's a yikes for me.
I feel like the people that probably chose that one is because they feel like they do follow a reliable source because of that, but you have to put in the aspect of genetics play a role in it, and also different type of body types, like also genetics. But the one that stood out the most was the YouTuber with a bachelor's in exercise and science and sports, which makes sense if you've done your research and they have a bachelor's in this specific subject. I mean, like, why not use them as a source, Like, obviously you're going to try out their exercise, you're going to try out their diets, but you have to make sure that it's healthy enough for you, because even though they do have a bachelor's in exercise and science, that doesn't mean that what they're taking is good for your body as well.
Yeah.
So
Because it could be because there could be a channel geared towards bodybuilders, and you shouldn't, if you're not going to be a bodybuilder, you probably shouldn't be taking that advice specifically.
Yeah, and the supplements that they take to get that body type. So it makes sense.
Mm-hmm.
And then at the end we had open questions.
Real quick.
Oh, sorry.
Yeah, don't worry about it. About the Journal of Sport, I like how everyone had a good idea about what to choose. The YouTuber and the Journal of Sports Medicine are both really good. But the bottom one, the muscular, like Jared was saying, there was V-Shed, right?
Yeah.
He's muscular and fit, but he's straight up copying Athlean-X, which is a very reputable guy on YouTube who provides fitness information. He's actually a physical therapist, a certified physical therapist with tons of experience. He's been the physical therapist for the Mets baseball team, so you would think he knows a lot about what he's talking about. And so someone like V-Shred, Vince, is straight up just copying him. If you watch countless of his videos, he has no idea what he's talking about. And again, he comes up with these ideas where he's trying to push false information to try and make you buy his programs or supplements. So just be on the lookout for that. Just because someone's big and muscular doesn't mean that they know 100% about what they're talking about. And also the same time. Oh, yeah, go for it.
On this topic, some dude in the gym named Blaze or something, he's a foot taller than you. He's massive. If I'm in the gym and I'm doing tricep kickbacks, I'm going to do them. And it doesn't matter what you call back from earlier. It doesn't matter what exercise you do. If Blaze over there hands you the 45s and tells you to start dumbbell benching then don't listen to them. Yeah, because when I did tricep kickbacks, that actually added a lot of size to my triceps. Like sometimes it's the less masculine exercises that lead to some results, but results may vary. Choose your sources, vet them properly, and yeah.
Exactly. Like any type of exercise will help you gain muscle. I've seen a 6 foot, 200 muscular bodybuilder type of guy in the gym using 5s for like wing exercises. And like, I don't know if he did like 30s first and then he went into 5s, but he was struggling with them 5s. So whatever works for you works for you. And that's all it is.
Yeah.
Also about the Journal of Sports Medicine. I like how people chose that because they know it's a good source, especially if it's peer reviewed. But most studies, you shouldn't 100% be sold on what they discover, because typically studies are just studies. It's not information set in stone. Typically, what you're going to want to look for is multi-analysis, or I forget the name of what the type of studies are called.
Meta-analysis.
Meta-analysis. There you go. Look for more meta-analysis studies because it's a collection of studies, which is still somewhat not 100% true, but I mean, it's better than just one specific study that focuses on one little aspect, that's super specific. You want something that's more general, but also at the same time, don't rely 100% on studies. Like, I love exercise and everything. I love learning about it, but man, studies are just really boring to read.
Yeah.
Like, a lot of people can agree with that, so just, I don't know.
Always just skip to like the results part.
Yeah, no one wants to read what actually, unless you actually like have to read it for school or something.
Yeah.
Like, it's not that enjoyable. At least I don't think it is. But I can agree with people choosing a YouTuber because it's a bit more enjoyable. All right.
Find the easy way out instead of actually doing the research, though. You have to do your research.
Yeah.
Okay. Moving on to question 10 with the open-ended questions about exercise, fat loss, and muscle. A lot of people said no, but I think that was just because they were tired of the survey.
Yeah.
But here's one. How do you maintain your weight steadily? Now, I am not a physiologist. I'm not a nutritionist. I'm a first-year student for health sciences. So if anybody else has any information on this, I'll let you guys speak.
All right, bet.
Yeah, Cameron.
So break down the idea about fat cells, right? So everyone's got fat cells in their body. If you don't, you're probably an alien. But anyways.
Or dead.
Yeah, that too. So people got fat cells. So that circle right there is the fat cell. So everyone's got a set point, right? Everyone's got a certain weight that they sort of hover around. So that's corresponds to the body fat cells, right? Specific body fat cells like to be full, and it depends on the person's genetics on how full the body fat is. So say some people who are a bit more overweight, their body fat needs to be, or the body fat cells need to be that full to feel happy, some people's body fat cells need to be that full to feel happy, and those are the extremely lean people. So that set point depends on where your body is happy with the current amount of body fat your body has, right? And so that pretty much depends on how much food you have. So that's why you can see some people that are super skinny, right, and just like seem to have like no body fat on them whatsoever. Their genetics are making them be that lean, So if you want to maintain weight steadily, it truly just depends on your body and how much calories you're putting out. So
And putting in.
Yeah, exactly. And putting in, if you're putting in too many calories, you're going to gain weight. And there's specifically some people that can just gain a ton of weight, so it's in people's genetics. Just some people just have the genetics to be overweight and fat, right? But, it really just depends on what you eat as well. You got to fuel yourself with good food, specifically not food with a lot of fat. Fat's a good thing for you, but 1 gram of fat is 8 calories. So if you're eating something that's very high in fat, you're going to be eating a lot of calories.
Yeah.
And you just need to watch what you eat. Try to exercise as well. Try to burn off some calories. Try not to be in a calorie deficit all the time. Just eat until you're full, or eat until you're satiated. Don't gorge yourself on extremely calorie dense food. There we go.
Okay. With that being said, another one says struggling gaining weight. Can wheat help? I'm petite. I'm petite as well, and I try to gain weight. I don't gain weight for nothing. Like, the only way that I'm able to gain weight is by weight training and trying to intake as much calories as I can, as well as protein, and that has been helping well for me. But if you take a lot of protein, like I drink protein shakes, so if I drink protein shakes, that's going to make me gain more weight. And then if I go gain more weight, then I'm going to get a little bit, fuller. Then I'm going to go to the gym, and then just like this whole process again. So if you're struggling to gain weight, I think that you should just like find not a diet, but like what Cameron was saying, like figure out your calorie intake in order to achieve that weight that you want to get, because it's just as maintaining it, you have to intake or outtake calories just so you can like gain that weight that you want. But keep in mind that if you want to gain weight in a specific area, you're not going to achieve that because it's not realistic at all. Like, oh, if I eat wheat, my butt's going to grow. That's not a thing. Like, you have to make sure what you eat. You got to watch what you eat, how much calories you're taking in, and continue to work out. And that's the only way that you're going to be able to gain weight and maintain it.
Mm-hmm. You have to do everything, or else like none of it's gonna work. If you're gonna like only eat a ton of food but not like do all the exercises that are gonna like actually bulk you up or anything like that, you're just going to gain fat, or and like it's a lot of like, if you really want to do something like achieve something like that, you have to like really be willing to put the effort in it.
And also, that involves research as well.
Yeah.
Can I just say, how this person says I'm petite afterwards, it almost sounds like they just dislike it a lot.
Yeah.
You got to be happy with your body,
Yeah.
I know it's tough to come to terms with it. It's very difficult because a lot of people have body issues, but just understand that a lot of people would really want to be that size, Most people would want to be very petite. And it's just, you just got to come to terms with enjoying it, or enjoying your body for what it is.
I also think it's a little harder with like nowadays, like curvy is in, and like if you're not curvy and you're not like being that like ideal girl these days, like like
there's the social aspect.
Everybody envies each other. That's just like how it is. And at the end of the day, you just gotta love yourself and go from there.
All it is love your body, no matter what type you are. Type A, B, C, curvy, petite, thin, a little chunky, whatever have you. God made you beautiful. That's all it is. You are a beautiful person, inside and out, regardless if you go out and you go to the gym or not. All it is just if you're healthy. So if you find a diet that works for you and you're happy, good. But if you're petite, don't worry about being petite. That's going to change within years. Don't even focus on body image, even though, that's the reason why people go to the gym and work out, is because they want a better body. That's good too, but health is number one.
Yeah.
Okay, so this one says, what do we do if we work out a lot but don't see results physically, but number-wise? I think they meant like number-wise as in like muscle gaining, but you don't just see the results.
I think is it not weight-wise?
Yeah,
like the weight-wise, like you like you're losing the weight, but you're seeing results.
It could possibly be water weight.
Yeah.
So I mean, typically when you start to exercise and you're eating a lot more carbohydrates, you typically will see a weight increase, and that's typically due to the water weight. The more carbs you eat, the more water your body's.
Yeah.
But
so just keep working at it.
Yeah. Don't stop. Keep your motivation up. Don't be discouraged, because I've seen, for my particular opinion, I have gone to the gym and I have seen muscle increase. Like I could see muscle tone and everything, but my weight was fluctuating up and down. And I'm still trying to gain weight. I'm trying to tone as well as gain, because I do want to be a little bit heavier, not too much. I'm 122, and I want to get into that range of 125 to 130, which is kind of a little bit unrealistic, but it's just a goal of mine eventually, because I've always been so tiny and petite. But I'm focusing on my muscle tone as well as the weight that I have, and that can be, like what Cameron said, water weight. It could just be, fat losing by itself or gaining a little bit, but don't be discouraged. Just keep going at it, stay motivated, and they're called mental blinkers. If you have a goal, just think about it and you'll push through it. The other ones are basically about dieting and exercising, but I think we kind of hit on them already.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So I think that concludes our full project.
Yeah. Thank you for watching, everybody.
Thank you.
Bless your soul. Stay healthy.
And as a full disclosure, we're not nutritionists. We're not kinesiologists yet. We're on our way there. So we did all of our information is based on research and proper research, pretty much. So we're not.
Check the description.
Yeah.
So do your research.
All right.